All right. There we go. Yep, we got numbers.
We got numbers?
We got numbers.
Great.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Patrick.
It's coffee before bed.
Yeah, not during.
Oh, yeah.
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 No, I am a little bit low energy today. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm just sleeping weird for student schedules and stuff.
Oh, yeah, you still doing stuff at 2 o'clock in the morning?
I am, yeah. And I thought I'd sleep around it like a champ, but I guess I'm not getting my regular, 17 hours. So,
You just sleep like a cat, like every 10 minutes, and then...
a little bit of that. Yeah,
like half an hour later.
And it's weird, man, because I can sleep, but it does take me a minute. So typically when I'm going, I'm good. But also at the same time, that means that it's not just the flip of a switch. You actually have to power down the ship in sections.
Yeah.
Right?
Parts of it have to go offline.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And then getting it back up online is tricky. You remember how difficult it was when Ellie Sattler had to run into that thing and turn all the switches and prime the handle.
We're in business, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that's when Sam Jackson's arm falls on her.
Right.
Yeah.
Mr. L. Jackson's arm. Yeah.
Yeah. What movie was he?
Huh?
What movie was he? What movie guy was?
Yeah. I don't think we gave him one.
I think we took it away from him. I think we were going to call him Jurassic Park.
We can't call him Jurassic Park.
Right.
That's Sam Neill.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we can't call him Red October because he wasn't the main guy. So, Sam Neill, that is. So, Samuel L. Jackson, I don't know,
I would almost call him Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, okay, I'll give him Pulp Fiction. Although John Travolta is a close, I guess it just depends on what kind of mood you're in.
No. When people quote lines from
It's always
Pulp
Samuel L.
Fiction,
Jackson. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay, I think we can dub him Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
He's
all right. Yeah.
So, well, he's certainly a Tarantino guy. So.
Oh yeah, well.
Yeah. Well, he was in everything before then. God, I saw a movie not too long ago, and I forgot he was in it.
Oh, when he had hair.
Yeah, he was young too. It was
Coming to America.
No.
Even that.
Yeah, you're right. He wasn't that young in this one, but he was pretty close. What the hell was it? It was one of the Tom Clancy ones.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So not Red October, so like Some of All Fears or some shit.
No, that was later.
Clear and Present Danger.
Clear and Present Danger. Yes. So no, Patriot Games. Patriot Games. He was Patriot Games. He was in that, and I was like, oh, that's Samuel L. Jackson.
It's like, no, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
But
So,
you're like,
yeah,
that's his face.
I have to look at it, but yeah, no, it's like that's the guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. And you have to say, hey, is Pulp Fiction in this?
Right. Yeah. So Pulp Fiction wants you to use Capital One. Man.
Yeah, that's true.
I actually so I've been watching the series. All right.
Oh yeah.
There is actually a commercial product line that I like now, or what is it? It's not a product line. It's
like a campaign.
Yes, a campaign.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
It's the one, and I just saw it the other day because it reminded me of airport days.
Oh.
Where it's like, don't become your parents. I don't even know what the fucking product is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, but don't become your parents, and they have the guy who's trying to teach these, younger adults.
Yeah, yeah.
Who are acting like our parents would act in some cases. And they had an airport one, which just had me in stitches.
Really?
Yeah, so it's all about we're in the gift store, and someone's like, oh, you don't need to buy any snacks because I brought a lot of healthy things in the Ziploc bag kind of thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so the guy just takes it and throws it in the trash. So it's like, obviously you're in the airport, you're gonna pay the $8 for a fucking candy bar like everybody else, kind of thing. And then it ends with the guy at the gate, all right, who's bothering the gate agent. He's like, so when are we gonna board Group B? And she's like, 2 hours and 52 minutes. It's like, got it. And then, of course, he's going to ask again in 5 minutes.
Right.
right? And so it just reminded me of all those shit times at the airport where, you'd have to deal with people like that. But also at the same point in time, it was one of the only ads that actually got me to laugh out loud during the entire series. So, and I've watched more commercials in the last like 3 weeks than I've watched in years.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's totally
That
weird.
happened to me when I was watching the Olympics. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You watched? Oh, the Summer Olympics?
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
Yes.
Winter Olympics, what are you going to do?
I wish I could say I cared, but I don't. The Winter Olympics just don't do anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
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 All right. I don't know. I still kind of want to watch some curling. So,
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, not that I'm necessarily endorsing this, but given the fact that all of this will be watched on the high seas,
on the high seas? What are you talking about?
yeah, the parrot on the
Oh,
floor.
got it. Yeah, okay.
I don't think that I'm.
RVR.
I don't think I'm necessarily endorsing anything, but if I'm going to pop in there for some curling, realistically, the Olympics is when I get some of my best work done, because that was when it's not a sport where it's, hey guys, come on over, we're going to watch this and we're going to talk about it in detail. It's just these esoteric sports that you watch every now and then are on, and they're on in the background while you
Right.
do all the stuff you need for your students or whatever. Right? That's how I ended up watching a lot of Summer Olympics too.
Yeah, see, they don't line up with my off times. So, it's Winter
Totally
Olympics.
understand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now Summer Olympics, I was like completely, well, I guess I had grading to do, but I mean, it was no more than usual. So, it wasn't like,
Yeah.
this was some, like boon of time that I didn't have before, I guess.
Oh, don't let me sidetrack you too hard, but
Oh,
since
no,
you
sorry,
did
go
mention the airport,
Uh-huh.
I did get some clarification
Oh, what?
on Spanish. So
Spanish?
yes, so I got laughed at fairly hard when I said "Cia de Revolver."
Right, yeah.
It is
Cia de Ruedas, right?
chair
Yeah,
with wheels.
Chair with wheel. Oh, is it con Ruedas? Yeah.
No, actually, it was day. So it would
Oh,
be chair of wheels,
Oh,
which
okay.
actually sort of makes more sense.
Yeah.
But yes, I was corrected.
By who? One of your students?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Now,
right. You've got some in South America, don't you?
Yes, but then again, I also preface this that I think this is wrong.
Hey, no, Jeff, you knew it was wrong. You said that when you were like, what, 14? Or something like that?
No, that's when you started working.
Oh, that's
at the
when I
airport,
started
boy.
working
That's
there,
when
yeah.
that's when you had to file to get the work permit.
I had to get a work permit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I couldn't even drive myself to work. So,
Right, yeah. Yeah, you got taxied in by your dad.
I got taxied in by my dad.
and your mom.
She would come pick me up.
Yeah.
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 Sometimes. So, this was all before Uber, too, man. So
You wouldn't take no Uber to.
I don't know. There were definitely some years there where I made enough money where it would definitely be worth it.
Oh yeah, but yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. So I hear Uber's dying a little bit.
What's the reason?
I don't know. So, but there's a whole bunch of like business entities out there that are booming, like just last year, a couple of years ago, that are completely going Tango uniform now. And I heard Uber is one of them. Zillow is supposed to be another one. Did you see all the shit about that?
No, sir.
So, you know how Zillow is going around buying up houses and stuff, in
Yeah.
neighborhoods?
Yeah. this
Apparently
sounded like
that
it
was like, they completely mistimed the market. And they way overpaid for a bunch of houses.
Oh.
And so now they're stuck with all this inventory that they're trying to peddle off to like, small time landlords who can snap up 2 or 3 houses at once kind of thing, I don't know the full story. I just saw it on CNBC like yesterday. They were like, oh my God, real estate prices, And it's like, it'll be fine, So, because then they were sitting there, well, they've got 7,000 houses excess in inventory. I was like, that's like a neighborhood in this town. It's not as many as you think.
You make it sound like it's the whole state of Massachusetts.
All right, I know. Yeah, it's gonna break
Yeah.
off Rhode Island and shit and sink it in the sea.
Fine,
We'll
we'll move there. Okay, we'll just call this Zillow Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you
Yeah.
think about that?
Yeah. So it was like as soon as I sat down and started doing the math on that, it was like, oh, wait a minute, that's actually not that big of a deal. You guys just want me to keep watching this because you want to sell me ads, don't you?
Yeah. That is the toughest thing about news package. We've talked this over before. Like, everything can't be the biggest deal ever.
Mm-mm. In fact, there are very few big deals. What do you think? Like, is climate change a big deal?
Colorado, no.
Yeah? I don't know.
The water won't get up that far.
Oh, yeah, no, the water, yeah, but like the drought thing and stuff. What do you think?
I don't know.
Okay.
Listen, bro. The fact of the matter is, I've seen the predictions for climate change take on new names, new levels of disaster.
Sure.
I don't doubt that there is a problem. However, the predictions and the warnings have altered in just the few years that I've been alive cosmically.
Right.
To the point where would I have been an idiot not to believe the way things were 15 years ago?
Sure.
Or am I an idiot to believe it at full face value now? I mean, that's the thing. I'm starting to feel like, yes, of course, I believe that there is,
Once again, we didn't even
Is that your phone? We get interrupted by your phone?
That's a hell of a thing.
That was crazy. What was it?
It just started playing a podcast.
Oh, interesting. It's the Googles, man.
Call it that, but
spying on us. So
it was concerning, to tell you the truth.
yeah, no kidding. That's a pretty new phone too, isn't it?
Yeah, fairly. I kind of want to buy a new one, but
Already.
I kind of want to take the plunge and be one of the fold over.
Oh, the folder. Yeah.
Yeah, and the problem, Patrick, is I have a tablet that I don't use.
Right.
I don't go anywhere. There's
Right.
no version of this where it will make my life easier or better.
It's just neat.
But there's a part of me that's still, I kind of want to spend money on something stupid. But there's
do it. It's your
no. This is you know where that dangerous path goes.
Oh yeah.
That is straight down the vicious mouth of speakers and stereo equipment.
Oh yeah. I do that once. Do that with guns too. So
Guns, yes.
yeah, guns are terrible when it comes to stuff like that. So
Yeah.
spend a lot of money on something that'll sit in your closet. In fact, it'll sit in a safe in your closet. So forever. You'll be like every week, you'll be, man, I should go to the range this week, and then you don't go. And then
Right.
next thing you know, years have passed. Yeah. No. So climate change may be a big deal. All right. What else is a big deal out there? A bona fide big deal. BFD.
To me or to
Like
John
like
Q,
objectively.
Streetwalker?
Yeah, just like objectively, what's actually a big fucking deal? Something that people should actually worry about.
I'll tell you what people should actually worry about.
Right.
This coffee was $5 and it was $6.50 today.
Oh, that's true. Should we actually worry about inflation though?
Hey, you're the stats guy. What's the percentage increase? So that's if it's $5 for two, so it's $2.50 for one. So that's a
What, a 15% increase? So
well, it went up essentially to
oh, that's for two coffees.
right.
So
$2.50 a piece.
$2.50 and now it's
divided by 75 cents more per unit.
$2.50. Yeah, it's a pretty substantial increase. So
Dude, what's the math on that? That's
so wait a minute, 75. We're doing math at late at night. So
my degree's in English.
yeah,
so.
now my degree's in history, man. I just fake it as a math teacher.
You teach stats, man.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not arithmetic, man. I make the machine do it. So yeah, but anyway, let's see. So it was $2.50, and what was it today? $6.50.
Yes.
Yeah, so
it's-
6.50. So the $3.25 a piece. So 75-cent increase. So a 75-cent increase would be about 40%, 35%, right? Yeah. That's pretty substantial.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. We'll have to test that on the next run to see if it's actually still like $3.50 a coffee.
What do you think? They just screwed up?
They might have. So I don't know. That was the new girl. So
No, I'd seen that nose ring before. I don't think she's that new.
oh well, I don't know. I don't really pay attention. So
Well, her nose had something fucked up in it. It sort of grabbed my attention.
oh well, okay.
This is not.
That's like half my students, man. So I'm totally
look,
used to it now.
I know. I know. I still.
He was like, "Oh, you're doing the tattoos," you know.
I know.
I'm not gonna hire you.
Like, I realize that I fall into a possibly an outdated or just old-fashioned mentality with kind of stuff. But I don't know. I guess I will never poop on somebody for their own artistic expression, whether it be their own body or whatever. It's their property. Do what you want.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it still doesn't jump out to me in the way of, you could put a silver dollar through that dude's ears.
Oh yeah, that one always gets me a little bit. So, and then that's like something that doesn't go back. You know, like a nose ring, you can take
you
it
have
out.
to have like
Yeah.
surgery
I don't even know what you
to
do
fix it. Yeah, you have to have it like surgically fixed.
Yeah, I've seen some guys from some pretty big spacers too over the years. So, and I mean, some of them you can just tell they're full blown committed. You know.
Yep, you're in.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're in. Yeah, yeah. And then there's others who are kind of like, you're getting to that point in time where you're gonna have to make a decision here, whether or
Yep.
not that's gonna be something you're gonna have for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, all right. So inflation, maybe a big deal.
Could be. No, I mean, that was a very practical example.
It is
Very
yeah.
tangible.
Yeah. I don't know though. We'll have to see. I haven't seen too much from like my go-to economics guys on inflation lately. So, I know like so it affects certain people in different ways than it does other. And so like I'm at a point in time in my life where it actually I get the best of both worlds if inflation kicks off.
As do I, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I have a little bit of debt that'll go away, and then I have assets, and those will become worth more.
Right.
So yeah, I don't have people who owe me money, which would suck. That's the trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're in inflation, and if people owe you money, that's when it sucks. That's why banks don't like inflation.
You know, of all the businesses that have come and gone into my mind over the years, getting into personal lending.
Banking, oh yeah, like loan sharking.
Like, was just not. Maybe it was just I never really had the capital to get it off the ground. In that,
If I had the money, man. I mean, in theory, if you're loan sharking, you can start with like $5. You just have to loan out 4 of it, you know, and then you pay the extra dollar to break somebody's kneecaps if you don't get your $5 back.
I think when you have $5, you're not contracting out your work. You got to go break the kneecaps.
Yeah,
yourself.
probably you got to watch your overhead. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, no, I don't think I'd get into personal lending either. I do have a friend who's a banker.
Like we're talking about?
Yeah, no, like an actual banker, like he's a partner at a bank kind of banker.
Oh, but not just.
No, he doesn't like spot you on the Broncos game. You
He's
know,
not
kind of
taking
thing.
bets.
No. He's actually like, oh, we're gonna give you a mortgage, so here's all your paperwork, kind of stuff.
Right. So he gets his vig, his juice, all on the up and up.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Thanks for the old timey. Yeah.
Well, it was funny because
Vernacular.
Yeah, I knew vig, Will knew juice, and
I don't know what fig is.
it's the
I know Jews.
it's the same thing.
Oh, okay. All right. Got it. All right.
But I had never heard. I didn't really know that term before. I just knew
I hadn't
vig.
heard fig.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've heard Jews. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that guy's probably not enjoying inflation at the moment.
That sucks.
For him, and it sucks if you're poor. So if you're poor, it really
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
If you're living paycheck to paycheck, it blows. So, and I don't know.
That's the question. Are those people voting?
Probably. I mean, well, maybe not. I mean, like, so it's been a while since I associated with too many people who are kind of living on the edge. Back when I was one of them, voting was like the last thing that I worried about.
Right.
Yeah.
We'd get the time off of work. What are you
Fuck
going
that.
nuts?
Yeah. Are you crazy? Yeah. You actually go and vote somewhere. Now they do it all in mail-in ballots here, maybe. So, but then again, I mean, you don't like drop your ballot if you're poor, and they're like, "Oh, this is gonna fix all my fucking problems," you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Does inflation affect fixed income people?
It can, but like if you're on Social Security has COLA adjustment in it already. And so inflation's not really that big of a deal. It can be, but like, so that's kind of baked into the pie as far as Social Security goes. So it's not like Congress is, oh, we're going to screw you out of your COLA. Ha ha ha. You know, it's like, no, actually that's mandatory spending. So, you know, it's kind of like the state. And the only two things that are mandatory spending in the state are prisons and fucking Medicaid. So, you know,
Right.
yeah.
That's by law, isn't it?
That's by law.
Yeah, that's. I knew
In
that
this
was.
state, I mean, it might be different in other states, but I know in this state, those are the only two things the state actually has to pay for.
Yeah, that's
So-
for sure. I feel like I would have heard that story if Arkansas was broke, and the paper headline reads, "Arkansas broke, prisoners released."
Prisoners released. Yeah, just
Shut it
start
down,
loose,
guys.
yeah.
Sorry, we
Shut them
can't
down. Yeah,
keep the
Oh my
lights on
God,
this
yeah.
month, guys. You're
God,
free to go.
that would be interesting if you actually had a state government that was that broke that it actually had to do something like they'll like literally have to like mortgage the Capitol building.
Like
You
Monopoly.
know? Yeah, like Monopoly. You gotta flip it over, you know, and then you gotta find a bank. So, and if anybody else lands on it between now and then, they can buy it out from underneath you. Yeah.
Yeah, like Procter
So-
and Gamble lands on it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Buys the capital.
Right. Yeah. This is the Facebook capital now.
Oh, I don't know who else is gonna land on that fucking Dow Chemical or
Right. OnlyFans. You know?
what state are we in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, but it can affect other people on fixed income too. So like,
Pensioners.
it could, yeah, pensioner. It could affect you if you're a pensioner. I think if you had like an IRA or something like that that actually was invested in just about anything other than like treasury bills, you would probably stay ahead of inflation as well. So,
The most risk averse.
oh my God. Yeah, it's riskier to stuff your money under your mattress. So, yeah. Yeah, no. I remember working at the bank, people would call up and ask about those.
Oh yeah.
Did you get those
Yeah,
calls?
of course. And certificate of deposits.
Yeah, I want
and-
them CDs. It's like, why?
Well, and there was always this. There were people that would call in each month to see if the rates had changed.
Oh, really?
Yes, because evidently in the late 80s, early 90s, there was a huge run on certificate rates.
Oh, yeah, that was all part of the SNL bullshit. Yeah.
So I guess there was a subset of people that remember the good times and would call in each month to see if they were back.
Those ones weren't coming back.
Okay, why is that not coming back? Why is it fundamentally not going to come back?
There's virtually nothing you can find in the market that is low risk and high reward. So it has all been beaten out of the system over the last 40 years.
And why would banks offer high rates on certificates?
They would not,
Well, no. When they did, why
Yeah.
would they do it?
because they were risky. Yeah.
They were risky and
Yeah.
because they were generating capital, right?
Right, with those certificates, yeah.
To do what?
Lend more money,
For more. Right.
which is why it was a pyramid scheme. Yes. So if someone offers you like 12% on a CD, you should be suspicious as fuck. It's like, what is this, Madoff and Associates? Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've heard all about you. So, yeah.
Why does the backside of this say General Mills and Tricks?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, I think this actually is on an envelope.
This is printed on cardboard. Yeah, it's yeah, what is the there's an axiom for that. I can't remember where basically they talk about borrow at this, lend at this, and that's the
Oh, the banker rule?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
borrow at this, lend at.
yeah, it's you borrow at 6 or no, you borrow at it's the I know that the last one is 3, so it's like the 2, 6, and 3 rule, something like that. So you borrow at 2, you lend at 6, and you hit the golf course by 3 o'clock.
There, okay.
Got it's something like that. I probably got the numbers. I know I got the 3 o'clock one right. So, but the other 2, I probably fucked it up a little bit. Just the second one's bigger than the first one, and then that's banking in a nutshell for you. Yeah. So, yeah, it used to be very, very straightforward.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I mean, like some banking still is, but like now, I mean, you get a mortgage and it's like raffled off like 5 minutes after the ink is dry on it. So, I mean, my mortgage changed so many hands, until I locked it down. I was like, no, we're going to use this bank, my bank, kind of thing. And then, yeah, like I think the first one that I had with my first house, it got sold like 5 times over the course of the time that I had that house.
Was that when you were sending your HOA checks to a post office box in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah. That was that HOA. Although my HOA now is also like moved to the middle of nowhere. I tried to get on my board. So, yeah. So I don't think I made the cut. So it's because my plan is to never show up, and so they can't have a quorum and do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but I've actually got some uppity neighbors that I think actually got their shit in before the deadline, unlike me.
Oh, no.
I got it in like a day late just because it was like, oh, wait, was that due? Oh, shit, my bad. Oh, wait, you have to mail this? I don't have a stamp.
Nor do I. Yeah, at this point, well, actually, I think I do. I think I've got a few of them, but they are like 6 cents less than what they need to be right now.
Yeah, you got to go get the little ones and put them on there.
Right, or just use 2.
Or just, right, yeah, that's
which
what
is,
I would do. Yeah.
and that's wasteful.
It's a stamp.
I know. Well, it's not like they're gonna rot, but yeah, I don't mail anything. I
think I mail like one thing a year, and that's actually the dues for my fishing club. That's it. So I literally have the same book of forever stamps that I've had since like
the love ones
forever.
Yeah.
No, mine are the ones with the American flags on them.
Oh, okay.
And so they are like ancient. So these are like pre 9/11 stamps, man.
Yeah, so you got to use 2.
Yeah. So no, they're forever stamps. They're good forever. So they say forever on them. And so whatever the price is, you put one of those on there, it mails a letter.
That shows what I know about mail.
No, well, I'm not expecting you to, man. I mean, that's kind of the point.
No, you're right, because this is something that theoretically would have been taught in personal resource development in 8th grade.
Oh yeah.
When you're also looking to like cook raisin date bread.
Right, and learn how to sew a baseball or sew a baseball glove or a pillow. That's what it was. Sew a pillow in home ec. Do they still do home ec?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I know by the time we took it, it had been changed to personal resource development. So it may...
Oh, yeah, you're right. PRD. Yeah.
So it may go by a different moniker, or it just may not exist at all. But if it does, it probably goes under a bizarre different... I remember that class is where I think they taught us to balance a checkbook.
I remember taking a personal finance class that was kind of like, this is how you write a budget, this is how you balance a checkbook. These are the dangers of credit cards, and this is how you get a job, kind of thing.
Oh yeah. I think that's the one where you did like mock interviews.
I don't know if we did those, but I've heard of classes that did those in high school.
I never did those. I remember people talking about it. So that could have been anything. That could have been.
Yeah. No, I think there's got to be some version of it, man, still out there. Because like some of the other classes have gone to the wayside. Like I remember when I was teaching back at the junior high.
Mm-hmm.
And you walk into the old shop class, and it wasn't a shop class anymore. It was like a computer lab. And you're like, this is heartbreaking.
It is far more relevant to their lives, but yes.
I get that.
But
yeah.
I understand.
Well,
yeah.
no, and I mean, you just don't want to see too many people lose fingers before they're, out of 8th grade. But, there was also a thing about it where, like, there was a lot of people, like, and I remember the high school, like, they were, like, one of the only ones in town that still had an auto shop.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. And so
national competing.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I remember I used to get those guys down at the community college all the time.
Yeah.
So they'd be like, "Oh, well, this is what I want to do," and so I started taking auto shop in high school, and it was like there's like 2 high schools in town that maybe have one anymore.
Yeah.
So let alone home ec or personal resource development.
Or whatever. I mean, if you and I put our heads together, we could probably come up with a modern term that would work for this.
Right. Personal sustainability. So
I think it would be So it would be sustainability and nutrition.
adulting 101.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to throw the adult moniker on it because it draws a distinction. Like that would make people think that they have to get rid of their video games at 18.
Which is distinctly not true.
Absolutely not. The demographics don't say that. And this is I will
I can
never
back that up with personal information.
I will never disparage video games, but I will say that the connotation of adult is absolutely meaningless these days.
Yeah, well, and if you turn around and say adult video games, that means something totally different. You know, yeah, and always has.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Boobs are smoking.
but, right, yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
or booze, you know, or whatever. All the Leisure Suit Larry things. Yeah.
Which is remarkably tame in comparison
Oh my God,
to.
yes.
I mean, we do have to remember that in our lifetime, Congress panicked because Sub-Zero pulled out Kano's off his head with the spine attached.
Yeah, in Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was just called Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat, yeah, where it was like 8 pixels kind of linked together. Yeah.
Yeah, and that just wouldn't happen.
Right.
The spine stays, the head could come off.
Oh, yeah.
But that being said, I would challenge anybody on this planet to, with one hand and not bracing the other body parts, just rip the head off a person. I don't know if that's possible.
I don't think it's possible.
Because you have to at least get the second hand on there to keep that grounded.
I don't think you could rip somebody's arm off. So, by hand.
Well,
I don't think you could do it.
Again, you would have to brace it, right? You would have to put a stop on it.
You'd have to use every bit of weight in your body and probably gravity.
I think it could be done. I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so let me say this. I feel fairly certain that, yes, you could definitely dislocate somebody's shoulder.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you had actually separated the bone at that point, you stand a much better case of tearing the...
I don't know about that, man. I mean, think about it. Like, so your arm has, like, you know, this diameter. We'll just call it, like, softball-sized diameter,
Sure.
baseball-sized diameter. Go out there and try and rip a tree branch off like that. I don't think you can fucking do it. So
No, but a tree branch is not flesh.
yeah, but you know, like, so even one that's half that diameter, go try and rip that off. I mean, you're gonna have to like bend it and twist it, and that's what arms do.
Let me.
I don't know, man.
No.
This is an awfully morbid, like, you know, discussion.
No, it's not. It's not. No, this is perfectly reasonable. Okay, so, all right. I will put it to you this way. So, you and I have known some people that have scrapped and things like that over
Sure.
time. Yeah. All right. So, I don't know a single person that said they were in a fight,
Yeah.
right, that had like their finger grabbed and had that torn off.
Yeah, I don't know anybody.
And I feel like that would come off a lot easier than an arm.
yes.
Right. The same token.
I think your ear would come off easier than your finger. So,
I think you could definitely get in. I think somebody could pull an ear off
yeah, probably.
because it's really like it wouldn't be a clean tear. You'd probably
It'd be
break the
awful.
cartilage and it would
Yeah,
suck.
it would be horrifying. Yeah. It would be the bloodiest thing that ever happened to you.
In fact, I'm pretty sure that we knew someone that was missing a pretty significant part of their ear.
Did we?
I think so.
I don't remember.
Or at least it was really jacked up looking, so I don't remember. But what I'm saying here is that Congress freaked the fuck out
Right.
when in 7 animation frames
Mm-hmm.
they tore this head off, and
Yeah.
that was that was mature audiences. That was
Oh yeah, that's how you got your whole ESRB rating system.
yeah.
So which nobody pays attention to anyway. So at least I think so. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, I haven't been under the age of 17 in a while. So.
Not for a while, and
I haven't tried to buy porn or like get on Steam, or something.
No, you have not. But that being said, your daughter has not come to you and said, "Hey, please buy this game."
No.
And
No,
Yeah.
not even a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, no, you're right. So Congress did freak out about that. What was that? That was like early 90s. That's when all that
91,
shit was
92?
going on.
Yeah.
They're freaking out about that, violence in video games, and Doom, and then
Music.
violence in music and movies.
But that was a little bit before.
The music was a little bit before, but like, what was it? It was Death Certificate in particular that everybody freaked out about in Congress.
Oh no.
Well, what was before that? So
The one that freaked people out wasn't that. It was Ice-T's Cop Killer.
oh, that's right. Yeah, sorry, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
But previous to then, the war was on heavy metal. That was
Oh
the,
yeah.
fear of the occult and
Right. They're all Satan worshippers and
and the theoretical backward masking in Judas Priest songs that told people to commit suicide.
right. Yep, I do remember that. Yeah. That's right. I remember being challenged to listen to them backwards. So
There's nothing there. There's
No, I know it's blah, 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 blah.
Well, so they do say, so I can't remember which song it is, but I have heard it. And they say, and this Rob Halford was right on that, because the only thing that they distinguished in there were the words "do it."
Oh, okay.
Right now, that is not evidence that it was said. It just sounded like that.
Right.
And as he said at the time in an interview, he said they said it said "do it." He said, "Do what?
Do what? Yeah.
Do your homework."
Right.
And I get it. I understand that there was something called the Satanic Panic, and shoot, I think my parents got caught up in that a little bit.
Satanic Panic? Yeah.
Yeah, they had a certain fear of the occult. They had a certain fear of Dungeons and Dragons, and because there was that story about some kids who took it too far.
Sure.
Which-
yeah. Killed a cat or something. Yeah.
I think a person was killed or something. But that being said, people have been taking everything too far since forever. There's always that.
Yeah.
This is, I hate to dovetail this back into wood shop, but somebody getting their finger chopped up every now and then is how people remember to respect their tools.
Right. Yeah. This machine is dangerous. Yeah.
If everything went according to plan all the time, there would be no respect.
Yeah, but you don't want to just respect for the sake of respect.
Of course
Yeah,
not.
you got to respect things that actually are worthy of it. Or warrant it, let me put it that way. So,
Right. That would be like to say if somebody hadn't had a bad encounter with the bandsaw in 60 days,
Sure.
that you would force the issue.
right, yeah, exactly. Give me your hand.
I guess
Yeah.
it's me.
I guess it's me. It's my turn. So, yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, there's definitely a piece of that. They put guardrails on everything. But I mean, talking about some of the silliness of where we were taking that. We were talking about this not too long ago. What was the context behind it? Where it was more so along the lines where it was like, well, we got to do all these things as a kid. That kids these days. Were we talking about playground equipment or some shit?
We were talking about playground equipment, but we were also talking about bicycling, and we were talking about how everybody now, not everybody, but it's very common to see the helmet and the gloves and the pads.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas at the time that we grew up, if you had the helmet on,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
they were calling you names.
They were calling you names.
and we don't repeat those names
No,
here.
no.
But-
yeah.
For all intents and purposes, the answer is, well, why aren't you guys wearing helmets?
Right.
It's like, you idiots fall off your bikes
Yeah.
all the time. I pushed you off your bike.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What are we going
I
to do?
put my stick in your spokes, man.
Yes,
Yeah.
I deliberately messed with your bike.
Yeah.
Tell you what, What are we going to do after school? We're going to jump these off the rocks. I guarantee you somebody's going to eat shit. But it was, you wear, guess whose mom made him wear a helmet?
You wear a bucket. Yeah. But the point behind that was dumb.
Of course.
You're right, yeah, on a certain level. But then
we were not right.
No, we were not right about that. Yeah, I know. So there's a lot of people out there who would make that argument. Oh, the good old days, and blah, 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 blah. And we're like, nah, actually, I know quite a few kids who got really messed up. So on their bikes. Yeah, in fact, who's the kid who died?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, he wasn't on a bike. He was on a skateboard.
He was on a skateboard.
Yeah,
that was Joe.
That was Joe.
I won't say his last name, but...
No, that would be rude. But, yeah, he was definitely, like, one of those guys that you would look back on and be like, he would not be wearing a helmet. This would never occur to him, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think it would occur to us at the time either. But, I mean, I see your point as well, where you're talking about, like, well, you can take this to the point in time where you don't learn to respect, like, traffic laws. If you drive this monstrous ass truck that you're not going to get hurt in a wreck, all right, you do some stupid shit.
Correct.
Because you're like, oh, I don't, I'm not going to worry about that. I've almost got murdered twice on the interstate in the last 2 weeks. So
it's been a rough traffic.
It has not been good traffic cycle.
Man.
Yeah. So it almost happened again today.
What the hell happened?
Oh, no, it's just people weaving in and out of traffic, and so there's this big chunk of slow down because construction or accident or so, I don't know.
Like you do. Yeah.
Yeah, I just okay, cars are stopping, I'm going to stop too. All right. And next thing I know, you've got guys screaming down the fucking shoulder of the interstate. And I was like, dude, the next exit is 3 miles away. All right. And so, but it's like, oh my God, I don't have time for that. I'm too fucking special in order to sit here and wait in traffic. It's like, chill the fuck out, man. So if you have to be somewhere that bad, you should have left earlier. And then I was like, oh, thanks, Dad. You hit
that point.
Yeah.
Very well.
So, but it's also I know guys are doing this because they know on a certain level that they just haven't been in one of those real benders, that's that teaches you to respect the road. All right. And the rules are there for a reason. All right. So, and speeding 10 miles an hour over the speed limit ain't going to get you there 50 minutes faster, unless it's 9 hours away. So
yes, I can say that over extended distances, that is true.
That is true.
But at the same time, I suppose let me say it this way. I don't care if I'm late.
No,
I won't. Yeah. I will always make the effort to be on time. As a matter of fact, there's a good chance that I'll be early for something. Or really, Patrick, I aim for right on time. I don't like.
I try and thread the needle every time.
I do, and a lot of that just comes from my own memories of showing up at a place 20 minutes early, or people showing up 20 minutes early for me, and trying not to be rude, saying I haven't showered yet,
Oh, yeah.
Or you go over to somebody's place, oh, well, I know that we eat Thanksgiving dinner at 2, but, I'll be here at 11. You don't announce it, but you're there.
Right.
And,
well, yeah, do I kick you out? Yeah.
You kind of want to,
yeah,
but
you do.
You can't.
Right.
So, there is a subgroup of people that say, no, it's not rude, it's helpful, it's I'm here to help. Well, no. They didn't ask for your help. This goes back to free advice guy, right? I don't want to interact with them. Don't tell me which fucking router is the best. It's I've got a computer too.
Yeah.
I went on here before I came here, and I saw 1,100 reviews. Right?
Yeah, no.
So,
if I ask you for help, then yeah, great. But if not, your opinion means much less to me than you think it does.
When I want help, I will flag the guy in the blue shirt or the flannel shirt.
Right. Or the Google. Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. Even when I'm standing next to a Lowe's guy, I still might Google it just as, just because.
I would definitely do that in Best Buy.
It's the best way to ensure any form of impartiality.
Right. Yeah. No, and I mean, yeah. So there's like no lack of individuals out there who would do that. And at the same point in
Fucking
time,
busybodies.
busybodies are, yeah. I don't know. So sometimes you get those folks like you're talking about people who show up like in half an hour early or something, to something, and it's like, okay, so your schedule suddenly became my schedule. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so you're not respecting my time, even though I
Correct.
invited you over here.
Correct.
And so it does become one of these things. But then you confront someone. Oh, I'm always early. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll just I'll find something to do, or it's like, why don't you go wait in the fucking car? But you're not going to say that. So why don't you go get a coffee and come back later?
Absolutely.
But
I've done
again, I haven't done that. So at least told somebody off like that.
No. I haven't told them off, but I've gone in. Oh, I'm way early.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well,
Oh no,
go.
I've done that. Yeah, particularly to interviews, because like when I have an interview, I'm like way early. I had one interview once where I was late to, and it was the most awful feeling. So it was just like I wasted my time. I'm wasting their time. There's no fucking chance I'm going to get this job, and that was spot on. And I've done a lot of interviewing, and I've never hired someone who's late. So
No, I understand, but the truth of the matter is, Patrick, those people that you saw screaming down the shoulder, they were not headed to interviews.
no.
Statistically speaking,
Yeah.
it's possible, but they weren't. Because
No.
anybody that jumps out into the shoulder like that has made a habit of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's my point. So these are people, they haven't been in a major bender, and so yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like you don't respect how dangerous this is.
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, we can be flipping about kids being like, yeah, wearing your helmet, your pads and stuff, but
queer.
but really, when it comes down to it, yeah, all right,
Why am I not?
right? Why am I not doing this? Because I haven't cracked my skull open yet.
This is the,
you.
okay. Again, not to go back to woodshop, but I will. When it came to bicycles, and we all had one, either we were in that dust up, that crash that bloodied us up, or
Oh yeah.
so you either knew somebody that either you got a serious injury, and I mean serious injury,
Yeah, sure.
or you knew a guy
Yeah.
that had gotten a serious injury, right? But still, no helmets, no pads for a long, long time.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. So in fact, like when my mom made me wear a helmet, that's when I stopped riding my bike. I said,
It's
no,
absurd.
I'll take the extra 30 minutes to walk to school now.
It's absurd,
Yeah, it
but
was
you're
crazy
right.
absurd,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was one of those things, that you just like that weird, like angsty 8th grade logic, but at the same point in time, it's also like, all right, hopefully I've learned something from that at this point in time. And I'm like,
Dude.
the guy who like actually stops in traffic and lets people in my lane and shit, because it's like, it's not that big of a deal. I don't need to be there like, 18 minutes early, and I don't need to make up an extra like 3 minutes on the interstate. So yeah, and I'm like you, if I'm going to be late, I'm late and I own it. I'm just like, yeah, I'm late, It's like, is this a problem? I'm sorry you were waiting for me, kind of thing. I try not to make excuses about it, although sometimes they're really good. Like if you get pulled over or something, it's like, oh man, I got pulled over. It's just because you want to tell somebody.
Sure. Yeah.
But other times it's just like, hey man, it's just traffic and stuff like that. I'm not even gonna like drop an excuse like that on you. It's just like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm late. So let's get to this if you still want to do it, kind of thing.
Yeah. What? And this is the same problem that I have with traffic just in general is, so I have called some people names in traffic.
Oh, and I do it all the time.
Okay.
It's cathartic.
I've been called names in traffic, right?
I'm sure I have.
Oh no, I shoot, I remember I got into it with a lady up in Denver and
Oh.
other stuff. But the stupid part of this is, am I going to sit here and pretend to you that everything that I've done on the road is without flaw?
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah.
Would you Jesus yourself and say that you've been flawless on the road 100%
Oh,
of the
no,
time?
no. I get lots of stones thrown my way first.
Okay, so here's the question. Why is it that, since we all know that we do make errors, that I think I'm better at it than most, But what is it that stops us from giving other people latitude for making errors?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I don't have an immediate answer for that. I think that like on the road in particular, there's a certain lack of forgiveness. Like the thing that I find the craziest on the interstate is when people are merging from an on-ramp.
Yeah.
Okay, and so they're speeding up, and so the way you're supposed to do it is if like traffic is moving at speed, okay, and you're on the on-ramp, all right, you either drop back or you accelerate ahead, okay?
But generally speaking, you drop back.
Generally speaking, you drop back unless it drops you to a speed where you're not going to be able to insert safely into traffic.
Well, what is the law?
I think the law is that you actually accelerate and go ahead. So
No, you yield to oncoming traffic.
right, I understand that, okay? But at the same point in time, if you slow down to the point in time where you cannot enter safely, all right, then I actually do think you're supposed to speed up and go around.
Well,
Is
that's
that true? I don't know.
No.
Okay.
The rule is that you yield to oncoming traffic. So
So if I'm merging onto the highway, I yield to the guys on the highway.
correct.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That's correct.
Okay, yes. All right.
Every time. So now, pragmatically, do you speed up sometimes? Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It happens sometimes. Well, because the other part of this is, as a person in the furthest to the furthest right lane, it is also your responsibility, informally, not by law, but informally, to make room
Yes.
for the merge. That is
Yes.
just part of, guys, we live in a society.
It's common courtesy. It's common courtesy. It happens to everybody. And so, yeah, if it means that you're going to, I mean, you don't necessarily brake check, but, you ease off the gas or you speed up a little bit to open up a gap for somebody, if they're behind you, whatever.
It is essentially, yes, it is
You
essentially,
don't sit there and ride somebody's fucking mirror, okay? Hoping that they actually make it and try and get, in there, but you're not going to let them in, and they're going to go right off that bridge that's coming up.
Is that something one on your conscience? Is that...
Well, it seems like it all the time. People like try and do that shit. And I mean, it's gotten to the point in time where, like, it's not just highway driving. Like, people driving on the highway, especially, like, truckers and shit. I love driving around a bunch of big trucks. Those guys actually know how to fucking drive, They'll flash you. They'll let you in. They'll do all kinds of cool things. I don't, I'm never someone who cuts in front of a truck, because oh, no, absolutely. That, and because, I mean, the few truckers that I've talked to, and I haven't known that many, but I've known a few, and it's like, that's like the most dangerous thing you can possibly do because I can't brake, all right, as fast as you think I can.
Right.
All right.
Right.
And so I always give them a little bit of leeway. And all those years I was driving like Wyoming, Nebraska territory, I mean, you kind of learn the rules of the road. And when it's an open road and there's nobody out there except for truckers, kind of thing. And then you take that into like a metropolitan area like here, and people are fucking maniacs. And it's like, you guys are going to get somebody killed on this thing, and then they take that and they take it not just from like the interstate, but then down to the arterial roads where like, they turn like, freaking powers into bumper cars basically. And it's like, then you have idiots who, I mean, it really forces you to do some defensive driving that develops bad habits in you. Like me, personally, when I come down powers, if I'm turning left, I'm in the left-hand lane the entire way down.
I know.
You're not supposed to do it, but I fucking do it because it's just, it's like, all right, this is actually safer at this point in time, even though I know it's not the way that's supposed to be done. I just know you assholes aren't going to let me in down there. So I'm going to get in now while I can, while I'm making the right up here, So, and it's just like, oh man, that's bad habits. But, it also, it's like, survival.
It is, and yeah, it of course too. I mean, you're talking about truckers. I mean, yes, I understand that it is a pain in the ass to navigate this sometimes, and I understand that it's also troublesome. Like you talked about those long stretches of state highway and all that other stuff,
sure.
right? And the fact of the matter is, if they're going slowly, then you just give the peek around. Is there anybody coming? You just go across the lane as long as the line in the road permits it. But
oh yeah,
but
you mean on the 2-lane roads?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But the just look, I'm just gonna break it down for you guys. You fuckers eat or eat stuff all the time. How do you think it gets from place to place? So just show a little bit of respect from the guys that have to move large quantities of crap from one place to another, so that you get your 7-grain goddamn bread,
right, or whatever it is that you just picked up at the King Supers or whatnot.
Please, man, just.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, So, I mean, driving in general is something that I guess I've gotten more chill about the older that I've got.
I think that's a
Yeah.
little bit normal.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think there's probably like a bell curve.
Yeah.
I think there is a point where, because your perspective is so limited as a kid, right, that you start driving, there is no problem at first. So you start to, just based off of your own experience driving, so it's like, well, I've only been doing this for 6 months. There have
Right.
been no accidents at that time.
Yeah.
Ergo, I get this.
Yeah, you're all like timid and shit, for a while. Yeah.
Well, yeah, at that point, but once you hit that point, you look at that perspective, 6 months safe, I got this, no
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
And then you see that you drive down Barnes, and
Yeah.
you saw it just as I did.
Yeah.
You see, that dude has crumbled into the Faithful Friends Animal Hospital Stein
Yeah.
because his dumbass was, racing somebody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's a kid. It's a kid that goes to high school right across the street.
Yeah.
Right? But that's something that happens because you think you're awesome after 6 months of experience. Then the bell curve kicks in, and you've seen that happen, and you start ratcheting up tension and tension and tension.
Yeah.
And then you hit the other side where you start to mellow out again. And I think we've started to hit the mellow.
I'm definitely on the mellow side.
Bell end.
Yeah, the bell end. Yeah,
like to
I'm
say that,
definitely on the mellow side of the bell. Now, I mean, some of that just comes from all the highway driving that I've done. But then I guess the other piece of it is just kind of mellowing out in general and not stressing about being late or,
Yeah.
I guess having enough confidence in my job and my career to the point in time where it's like, yeah, I'm late, what of it, kind of thing.
You're chronic lates.
Right. Yeah.
If you're a chronic late, that's how it goes.
That needs to be addressed.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not the case. And then the same thing's true with just in general, like just thinking ahead about your day a little bit more in some respects leads to a lot less stress in terms of that kind of rat race that we both used to be a part of.
Yeah, now that being said, I would say that part of our graceful exit to the other bell end has been our conscious efforts to stay off the road.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think that's also part of a different, I don't want to call it maturity, but it's a certain accepting of, well, if I want my lifestyle to be more comfortable, I have to make decisions that wouldn't necessarily be orthodox or, essentially what my parents would have suggested.
Oh,
right?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And that's not to say that I don't think we've made bad choices, but I'm saying that they're unconventional choices, right?
No.
Because, I know my folks would be, it's like you're working 40 hours.
Right, yeah.
You could be working
80 hours, yeah. No, I get that. And I think my dad would kind of be in the same one if he hadn't actually watched me go through the 80 to 90 hour weeks.
Yeah.
And then eventually I just got to the point, I was like, fuck this, and I was like, there's got to be a better way to live than this. And maybe I stumbled into it in some respects, but the others has been definitely conscious decisions that are out of the box, so to speak, where it's like, all right, so there's certain things that just, they just don't make sense like they did for your pop and mine. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the idea of grinding, 30 years plus at a company to get a pension is a pipe dream anymore. It's crazy. And if you're chasing it, man, you're nerfing yourself. And don't bitch about it if that's the spot that you're in. I see a lot of people, oh man, it's 5 more years to retirement. It's like, well, speed run that, man.
Yeah.
So you can do it. Well, no, I'm locked in because of blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, okay. All right. So, but that's a decision you made 25 years ago. All right. And so now you're in for a pound, just for that penny on the other end. And so, I get it, but at the same point in time, I'm not going to begrudge you that pound that you earned, so to speak.
No, and I'm certainly not going to criticize you either. I'm not going to say,
No.
Hey, this lifestyle you're leading, unacceptable.
Right, yeah, yeah. So
I,
what are you, stupid for doing that? I'm not going to say that to
I'm
anybody.
going to go home.
Right.
When I see you next tomorrow,
Yeah.
I expect to see a 5-point plan about how you're going to change that within the next 6 months.
Free advice guy doing career
Yeah.
planning. Yay. That sounds awesome.
It's like, no, this is your life. Lead it how you want. As a matter of fact, some people are very happy that. Think about career military guys. I mean, that's
Yeah.
definition of. That's
Yeah, I don't know. The military is an interesting one. That one has not worked out for as many people as I had an impression of before. So it's not your dad and I's military, man. It's not the Reagan military. It's totally different nowadays.
No.
Yeah. And so like I know very few people who came out of that kind of, I'm not going to say like regretting it. But better for it, I don't know. That's a tough call
Totally
these days.
subjective.
Yeah, that's going to be individualistic. So, but then like, some of the other things that just used to be like no-brainers, like getting on with a good company. All right. So you and I both work for excellent companies. All right. We don't work there anymore because it was fake, So, and like it's not going to do the things that it would do for like my pop. All right. And his didn't work out either.
No.
So, but at the same point in time, I mean, like when you see people who are doing that and kind of getting that grind in some respects, yeah, there's ways to get out of that. There's ways that you can actually think outside of the box a little bit. Like, I mean, you've got like 8 income streams stitched together now or something.
I'm like your run of the mill Jamaican. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, and I mean, I've got one that like I don't make that much money, but I don't have to run around that much to get it.
Right.
And this is the only job that I've ever had that's kind of like that. All right, where like I get what many people would consider to be a shitty salary, but they don't realize that it takes me about 10 to 12 hours a week to scoop that money up.
Right.
All right. And so, and quite honestly, then it's just a point in time. It's like, all right, I'm on this path that's going to set me to the point in time where I need to make this amount of money. Once I make that amount of money, I don't even need to do that anymore, but I can if I want, but I don't have to, kind of thing. And it's like, okay, this is actually pretty doable. And I managed to figure this one out. So a lot of my colleagues have this one, like thinking of it like the old pension thing, and it's like, yeah, you're the ones who are upset about your job. I get it, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, and, but maybe that's just mindset in some respects. So,
Of course it is. Well,
you think so? I don't know, man. I think sometimes it's really comforting to have like a 9-to-5 gig in a place that you have to be and kind of stuff. So,
well, there's any number of reasons you could have that. And it could be, number one, I would say the most common would be supporting a lifestyle, right?
yeah.
Number two would be an early mentality reinforced by society and always has been, always will be, of the goal in life is to keep adding zeros to your value.
Yeah.
Another part of this
Chasing
is
the dream.
Yes, absolutely. It's very Japanesey. I have to look busy.
Oh yeah, no, that one's not just Japanesey. That's
No, but
yeah.
you give credit to the people who do it,
Who invented it? Yeah.
who not necessarily invented it,
Yeah.
but do it.
Who turned it into an art form? Yeah.
No, man. Like, Apple didn't really invent the iPhone. All that shit was around before they put it in a nice package.
Yeah.
But you call it an iPhone because the previous iterations there's like airline tape on this phone. There's this
Yeah.
like the crazy loop cap is stuck in the grooves. So you also give people who do it the best or exemplify it. So that very
That would be the
Japanesey,
Japanese. Yeah.
gotta look busy. Their status with there's also that part of I do it because I feel important.
Yeah. That one, I don't know. So definitely, we ran into that one quite a bit in education. So you definitely had those people who were just like, "This is my thing."
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
I
my
won't begrudge you
identity.
that. That's cool.
No, absolutely not.
That's cool.
So yeah, but then like I don't know, man. There's just like a lot of other people out there who just, they got no plan, and it's just day after day after day. And, those are the guys that I feel bad for in some respects, just because it's one of those things where it's like, man, you're jammed up and you don't even know it. So,
Yeah, there is that.
and there's opportunities like right over the fence over there, but you just can't be bothered to look, so because you're so miserable what you're doing right now. I mean, I've worked with so many fucking miserable people over the years.
I suppose that's true.
So,
Yes.
just, they're not bad people, they're just miserable,
In fact, sometimes they're great people,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you can tell there's a lot of hurt in there that they will never admit to.
Oh, no,
or
too proud.
confront.
Well, yeah,
in any
because
way, shape, or form.
almost always your station and situation is like a combination of, probably some bad luck, but it's also the choices you've made.
It's all
And I mean, it's a screwdriver theory kind of thing. It's like,
is.
oh, this is mine, and so it's the best.
all sunk
And
cost.
it's
Yeah,
like, sunk cost. And it's like,
Yeah.
actually, your job blows, man, and you're on track for a heart attack at 53.
You're absolutely
Yeah.
right. Yes, and you are talking about something that I guess here's the thing. I guess somehow I managed to find the disconnect between what I do and how that represents my testicles. And I don't think that there are plenty of guys who cannot divorce the
Yeah,
two,
that's true.
right?
Yeah.
Even I'm going to use that number 53. If it's 53 and you are working graveyard at a car wash, there are people who like, that sounds like a shitty job. You think it's a shitty job?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to fight?
Right. Yeah.
It's like, well, you think it too. That's why you want to fight me.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, yeah. And like, I mean, some places it's just easier to see the connection than others.
Yeah.
You don't really know necessarily like what kind of pride somebody takes in their work.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we definitely, even airport days, there were some shitty jobs at the airport that, there were some guys there who just like, this was their thing. It was the one little spot in the world that they could call theirs.
Yeah.
And so they would fight you tooth and nail for it, especially during like layoff days and stuff like that, man.
Sure.
So in some of those bad times after 9/11 came around, man, you really got to kind of know some people and like how much like throwing luggage actually meant to them, And I don't know if it actually meant that much to them. It was just more so I don't want to change shit, I got enough crazy, I got enough crazy shit going on in my life that I just don't want to mess with it right now. So
Hey, man, there is something to be said about counting your ravioli, where it's just, I know that there's,
ravioli.
I don't know, it's just, there's something,
There's your episode title, counting your ravioli. What are we going to use that as a euphemism from now on? That's an original right there. Counting your
Sex,
ravioli.
I don't know.
Sex?
no, counting your ravioli would be like knowing that if I do this and I continue to do this and nobody threatens me from doing this, I'm always going to be swimming in ravioli.
That's fucking
right?
beautiful. I love
Right?
it. Yeah.
And there's this thing where even if the situation is shitty and you hate this job,
Yeah.
the threat of ravioli absence is terrifying.
Loss of ravioli. Yeah. I love it, man. So there you go. On the podcast, you just birthed one of our colloquialisms.
That's a new one. I think
counting your ravioli, man.
I think ravioli is going to be my new term for crypto.
Crypto. Yeah, you're just mining ravioli.
Well, I think you mine it. I think you mill it, or you
Yeah, you crank it out. Yeah.
What was it? Okay. It was Greg from the airport who.
Airport Greg?
Yeah, where if his view of his dream paying off was, we'll be eating Chinese every night.
Yeah,
right?
that was eating Chinese every night.
Every night. And I think that's me and crypto is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Ravioli. Yeah, I'm gonna go make pasta.
Making ravioli.
I'm gonna make ravioli. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We'll see, man. So if like to tie it back into the inflation thing, that would definitely be a place where you would see it.
Let's dovetail it to wrap it up.
To ravioli. Yeah. So, but that's ravioli would do well in an inflationary economy.
gonna write that down. Ravioli.
Ravioli up. Inflation up. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Actually, this is one of the rare times that not only do I think we ended on a positive note, I think I actually learned something.
What'd you learn tonight?
The correlation between inflation and raviolis.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah. Raviolis are good right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Raviolis are up. Yeah. Cannoli's down. Yeah.
Take out that HELOC.
Yeah, take out that HELOC and go buy some ravioli. So,
all right. Well,
don't do that. It's terrible investment advice. So.
Oh, we made that disclaimer a long time.
Yeah, never buy on margin.
Just guys, don't lose your money listening.
Rental properties are for rich people. So.
All right. So, that being said, final thoughts. Anything else that you'd like to get out there into the ether? Just anything that means something.
Anything that means something to me right now. Now, just don't pay attention to the news. Enjoy video games. That's been my thing last week. So, yeah. Like I asked you in the car today, I didn't know anything about the shit going on in Virginia.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't think I lost any sleep over it.
Well, you asked me about it. I told you.
Yeah.
Did you give a fuck about any of it?
It just, well, I mean, I do, like in a general sense of like, you know, what's happening with the electorate and, you know, are people losing their fucking minds, or eventually are we going to actually get past this like bullshit that's driven by algorithms and, you know, just general angst and boredom, you know? But beyond that, the details of the election, no, I don't really care.
Okay, let me rephrase the question.
Yeah.
After I informed you of what was happening, did you make up your mind to stockpile weapons and ravioli?
Absolutely not. I like ravioli, all right? But I don't buy like all the raviolis at once. You buy a little ravioli, and then if it turns into a bigger ravioli, you buy another ravioli, okay? This is not what you do with ammo, all right? So you buy ammo, it sits in the closet. It doesn't turn into more ammo, right?
I don't know. You have to breed them, I guess.
I don't know. You rub them together or something? I don't know. What happens to ammo is it goes bad after a while, and ravioli doesn't seem to do that. Although, you know, remains to be seen.
You would think it. It's the other way around.
Yeah, you would think it the other way around. Yeah. Actually, inflation is bad for ammunition, so come to think of it. Yeah. So it means that less 223s for more monies. So, yeah.
I think that's wisdom we can end on.
Yeah, inflation, bad for money, or bad for ammo, good for ravioli.
We'll be punching that in the title here.
Yeah, count your raviolis. All right, all right.
You are?
I am Pat.
I am Jeffrey.
And it's bedtime. See ya.